Welcome back, guys. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Let's see, April 5th. Hope you had a good long Easter weekend. Happy weekend to you. Wow, I just noticed NNOX. They got FDA approval up 62%. I was holding this and I sold it. That's crazy. Anyways, I want to talk about GME. Oh no, GME! No, GME! Down 10%. What is happening? Down like 16% this morning, 155. Want to sell it. Why is it doing this? Let's look at the news. 5 days okay, stop. Tank after shares tank after it plans 1 billion stock sale. It's over. The short squeeze is over. They just offered the shares to the short sellers and now they can cover. This is awful. Is this true? Is it just one? Is Reuters? Maybe it's chills. Stocks making a big. GameStop offer up to 1 billion shares. Stock declines. It's Bloomberg. Sell stock after social media fuel friendly 1 hour. GameStop fails 14% after announcing share offering. Keeps going. Offer 3.4 million shares. They're down 9%. Okay, guys. Yes, if you were listening or reading the earnings, they said they would offer shares. I'm not selling anything. I'm going to be buying. Probably this morning. It might dip lower. I'm kind of hoping it does once the market opens, but then I'll be picking some up. They haven't actually offered shares yet. They just basically put out another press release saying that they can. This is kind of a formality, I guess. I'm not sure why they even did it, but during their earnings a couple weeks ago, if you remember, they said that there's going to be a time when they might want to offer some shares, more or less. And yeah, I don't even know. I'm assuming they you have to put out another press release or something saying that, you're actually going to do it at some point. Or not. Maybe there's just regurgitated news. That happens all the time when it just comes back out and just one news story shares this, another one shares this, and it's just they make their own news pretty much. It could be that, but or maybe they said, maybe GameStop had to say we're going to offer some shares at some point. They're not saying right now, and they're not saying they're going to offer 3.5 million shares even. You have to look at different articles, but basically, I never found the report, but just going off the news, I guess we'll just wing it. But basically, it was 3.5 million shares is the most they will offer, or up to $1 billion. So at 3.5 million, I think 1 billion. You guys can do the math. It's like 230 or something, I think, or 2 something. It's in the 200 range. So basically, they're just putting a floor on it in the 200 range. If they were to offer the full 3.5 million to get the $1 billion. But it doesn't say now, and some of the articles said it right. It says from time to time, I believe. So some of the news says, they basically will offer shares at the money, kind of at the current trading price, from time to time. So they can kind of, way I'm perceiving it, is they can kind of scalp it a little bit. I mean, given they might offer all 3.5 million at once, which would bring the price down pretty quick, but it's not like that means much. Or they could do it, they kind of scatter it out. But they're not doing it now. They haven't done it yet. The share price dropping is not from them doing it. Share price dropping is not from them even announcing it. This is just from market manipulators. Or you might call market makers or whatever you want to call them. Scare tactics. So this is a nice dip, and it might dip a lot more. I know a lot of shady stuff going on in Reddit and Wall Street Bets and the GME thread, and I don't know, mods getting banned, and they're attacking full force right now and trying to scare. This is similar to what happened in January. Well, really more, I guess, in February when it bounced up because they're more prepared then. So they're hitting it pretty hard. This is a very weak sell-off. Unfortunately, the cheapest we could have gotten it so far is 155. I didn't get any more shares at pre-market. I wasn't up at 5 a.m. I guess this morning because I can sleep tight knowing that I have GameStop shares and a great company. It's a hedge against the rest of my shares pretty much. But I think it's smart. I mean, I don't want to have GameStop in the long term if they're never going to offer shares. I mean, if their stock price is going to go up to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, what if that $1 billion mark they put on there, maybe they're saying that's the floor. Maybe it's going to go up to $1 billion and they're going to sell one share. Sure, some people believe that. I don't necessarily think it's going to go to $1 billion a share, but that's what their statement is saying. Either 3.5 million shares or up to a maximum of $1 billion. So it might only be a handful of shares. 3.5 million is almost a handful of shares. That's like 5% of the float. Given we're like 3 times the percent of the total float, if you for the naked shorts and the amount that retail holds, institutional, we already own way more than 100%. So 3.5 million really isn't 5% of the real shares. Yeah, but we're way past that amount of real shares. So it's 5% if we go to 100%, but this stock has like 500% of its shares. Math is tough, but basically if they wanted $1 billion and just to make it simple, if they have to offer 2 shares, right? If it was at 500 million. So they could scale into it. If the stock price is at $1,000 or $5,000, they'll offer less shares. The maximum they can get is $1 billion with the stock offering, which as a long-term shareholder, which I am now, that's very good. That's what you want. It's not like they necessarily need it, but they're doing so much so quickly that $1 billion in capital, that'll be insane for them. They'll go, they'll be able to do so much with that, and that's a very small amount, honestly. It's nothing if you try to compare it to AMC. Nothing compared to AMC. They've already offered their entire float, I think, in share offerings. And they've got tremendous amount of debt. GME doesn't. So not to bash on AMC. If you want to hold AMC, great. But people say, oh, it's like AMC. This is what AMC did. It's not really. First of all, they haven't offered any for one point. Meaning they don't think that this is a good enough price. They're like, no, we're not going to offer them at 160, 170. We might offer some shares and offer some more shares on the market, diluted a tiny amount, but it's possible they're going to wait till it gets up to 500, 600,000. They just want some of this pie. They see we're going to make millions and millions of dollars. DFV is going to make billions of dollars, and GameStop's like, we'll just take 1 billion, and then this company that you actually invested in, it'll be that much more profitable, and we'll be able to do that much more. The new GameStop stores, they're selling computer parts now, graphics cards, which are actually crazy because those are so hard to get right now. And then I saw like a test store where they have like full-on gaming station. Looks like a European internet LAN cafe, like gaming tournament style thing. They're doing crazy stuff. I think this will be sick. There's not really any players like GameStop in America in this space at all. There might be local ones here and there, but no like big chain places that have brick and mortar where you can go and get in a whatever. I don't know if they do LAN tournaments or online tournaments or esports competitions. So I mean that's huge. But yeah, I've done enough DD. I'm very bullish on it. Them offering 3.5 million shares, I'm actually more bullish because with that news also, and some of them mentioned this. Actually, the Seeking Alpha one did. I didn't even start with this because everyone's so scared. The Seeking Alpha, where was it? I'm sure a couple of them mentioned it, but the first one I read that had it. So fall 14% offering, share offering. Oh no, look at this. Global sales are up 5.3% for the 4-week period, 18% higher than the 5-week period that ended on April 4th. Okay, so this, why they have this February 27th, because this is like COVID when everything got bad. They're up 5.3% more sales than before COVID hit last year. So this time last year, say if it was just normal year without COVID, they're up 5% more, regardless of COVID. And then they're up 18% up to April 4th, which is once things started to collapse. What's even crazier though is that's with 13% less store base or stores that are open because of COVID's had to close them down. So they've had less storefronts, less opportunity to make money, and they've made more money. So it's very bullish. I'm more bullish on the stock. I mean, I didn't need to know this. I knew that it's going good. So But this is bullish news. And then shares of GameStop are down because the company is share offering. I'm excited. This is gonna be good because they're gonna be able to kind of scalp here and there and make some money for themselves and have some cash on hand to do crazy stuff, revamp their stores, do their e-commerce, buy all those gaming chairs and PCs for their storefronts. And yeah, if you want to dip, it might have been this morning pre-market. It might be later today, honestly. With all of the DD coming out, all the new rules being implemented. There's also going to be a share recall once we have the vote, the annual general meeting, shareholder meeting, which is this month. Or no, it's in June, but they can start recalling shares this month. I've talked about this before. And so, yeah, a lot of stuff coming down. I'm watching the price action. I've got exposure to it on shares and options. I will probably be, as I said before, I'll probably be scaling out of some other swing trade stuff I have. Needs to come up, and then I will be putting more into GameStop. So that's all I got for you guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks them around. Follow us on Twitter. I tweeted out this morning about this GameStop scare. Right here. Very headlines, very bullish news on the stock, though. At operate 13% decrease in stores because of COVID. Sales are up 18%, even though with a 13% decrease in stores. Yep. And the share offering was already stated in earnings. This isn't, that's why it's like it's just regurgitated news. Even if they came out, even if GME had to make a more formal press release or whatever saying that they can, they're just saying they can. They're not saying they even have. We already know this. So the stock price isn't dropping because of that. It's all rigged, man. Okay, peace out. See you guys after market closes or before. If this thing rallies up to 300, 400 today, it could. I mean, they basically put a floor on it of 3.5 million shares. They want $1 billion, wherever that lines it up. I think it's like 230. We're not even there. They're not going to do it now. They're going to wait. I don't know why they wouldn't wait until it's $1,000, $2,000 a share and they can just offer a lot fewer shares. Okay, peace out.